My name is Phil Vogelsang, and on behalf of the Friends of Discovery Park, I'd like to personally welcome all of you to the official 50th anniversary celebration of Discovery Park. This is truly a momentous day, and I thank you all for being here and showing your support for this wonderful place. And a guest that I'm especially pleased and honored to introduce today is our very own Mayor of Seattle, His Honor, Bruce Harrell. The son of a black father and Japanese mother, Bruce was raised in a redlined Central area home. His mother's family's thriving Capitol Hill business and properties were seized by the government during World War II. His dad played with Quincy Jones in the Garfield High School band, and he graduated as Garfield's senior valedictorian. He played as a linebacker for the UW Huskies in the late 70s. He served on the Seattle City Council for 3 consecutive terms and was elected mayor of Seattle in 2021. Mayor Harrell, on behalf of the Friends of Discovery Park, welcome.
Thank you very much, Dr. Phil. I'll take this out so I could riff a little bit. First of all, to the Friends of Discovery Park and the friends of other organizations and just friends of the neighborhood, thank you for helping me get Seattle to a better place coming out of some of the toughest times we've ever experienced. When we talk about 50 years, and I'm going to speak to the youth for a minute. Oh, you guys are all old like me. There's no youth to speak to. I'm just joking. 50 years, 500 acres. Why is this place so special? And I would say for a few things. Everyone here has a story about this Discovery Park. Everybody does. The city does. It represents the best of the best. A situation where I guess perhaps at one point our indigenous peoples, our first peoples, used this area as a means of survival, and they showed us at a very early stage in our country's birth how one uses the land, how one protects the land, how one thinks about environmental sustainability. As the federal government put its footprint down here, they realize now perhaps it has a better use, and as mayor I fully commit to adding resources and intellect behind what's next. Now the truth of the matter is I've said publicly that we invest in our parks, and I'm going to introduce Councilmember Lewis as showing outstanding leadership on how we are to use parks and how we are to use our revenue sources to protect these precious gems. I've said we have to protect our parks. I don't want to see syringes in parks. I don't want to see trash in parks. I want to stick to the basics. I want the restrooms to be open. I want these areas to be recreational and healthy. I don't want them to be... I want them to enable positive behavior, not negative behavior. And that's not asking so much as the mayor. That's why I think I was elected. To lead with compassion, to lead with love. And this park, for me at least, represents the best of the best. I have an interesting story, I think. At least I find it interesting. I hope I don't bore you with this. 1974. I had a job. I worked at Fort Lawton on what was called the Facilities Engineering Crew. Now, as introduced, I grew up in 98122. That would have been what was known as the Central District of Seattle. And then I grew up as a student and as raised my family, my wife and our 3 kids, in 98118, which is the most diverse zip code, one of the most diverse zip codes in the country, and certainly the most diverse zip code in our city. And unfortunately, it does have one of the highest poverty rates and lower graduation rates. It's an area that has been somewhat underrepresented and underinvested, but that's where I grew up. So a little biracial boy like me, coming from 98122 in the Red Line Central District and growing up in 98118, quite frankly, statistically, I wasn't supposed to be the mayor. I'm just throwing it out there. My mom and dad didn't go to college. I I wasn't born on third and thought I hit a home run. It was a tough road for me. But leaders before me, like Wes Ullman, and I could go down the history of Seattle, they did some right things, and this city elected me to be the first person of Asian descent and the second person of African American descent to be your mayor, and you all should be proud of that. You all should be proud of that. I don't beat my chest. That's Seattle is saying, look, maybe this guy could possibly get us on the right track. So I worked at the facilities crew here, and I had a very important job. You know the grave site, where the soldiers are buried? My job was to make sure that the tombstones, everything were kept clean. And I would cut the grass, and I did it with pride. And then we put up a few fences, and it was something that I took pride in, quite frankly. I'd hear stories about the Italian soldier that was there and all this other stuff. But every single day I'd come out here. And then after, I'd have to catch the bus back home to where on the other side of town. I would just walk around here all the time. And, I'd run around here. Well, now my jog is more a glorified walk. But when I was young and 16, I'd run around here. And I got to tell you, I fell in love with this place. So as your mayor, I continue to be in love with it. So we're going to do everything. We got smart friends here, smart decision makers here in our park system. We're going to show what our love means in terms of investments and strategies and celebrating the next 50 years for the youth that are young like me out here. So thank you very much for celebrating. This is a wonderful park. Thank you for being here. When you care about the parks this much and care about Discovery Park this much, it really means you care about the people. So thank you very much. I'm glad to celebrate this with you. I'm going to introduce, I want you to know that Christopher Williams, our current superintendent of parks, who's just a personal dear friend, and we're like married, like I said, through good times and bad times, through sickness and health. We've been stuck together a long time. He's my dear friend. And he's kept the lights on, and we hired a new superintendent of parks, AP Diaz. AP, will you just let him see your? I don't generally hire people that are better looking than me, but I made an exception with this person. AP Diaz is going to be part of the city family here. Thank you, AP, for being here. We're really excited. Your next speaker is going to be Councilmember Andrew Lewis, who I have to tell you, I've known him for a number of years, even particularly before he was in office. And I've been so proud of the way he is looking at our park system. Like, he's the president of the Parks District. What's it called? The Parks District. Metropolitan Park District. Metropolitan Parks District is really just a fancy name for the city council when they put the other hats on. But they're doing such important work on our investment strategy, and now they're going through the budget cycle, and he has been adamantly arguing for parks and green space and some of our public safety strategies. So I present to you Councilmember Andrew Lewis.
Thank you.